Hello, and welcome to my channel. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. And I just want to say thank you to my subscribers for caring so much about mental health. Thank you, and may God bless you all. And let's get right to it. Um, this is a little bit of a heavy topic that I'm going to discuss, but I'm going to discuss it anyway because it needs to be. So this past Friday, um, this past Friday, at work at my second job, um, I had just come off my lunch break, and my boss had asked me to help her move some boxes from the warehouse to a empty office. I said, okay, sure, yeah. So while I was in the process of moving those boxes, um, I was in the process of moving those boxes, stacking them up on a cart, and while I was moving those boxes, I found a really small blade, one of those. I found a really small blade while I was stacking those boxes, and when I saw that blade, I looked at that blade for a couple of seconds, and in those couple of seconds, um, thoughts of suicide began to run through my head. Believe it or not, thoughts of suicide began to run through my head. Believe it or not, and I stared at that blade for a good little minute. I stared at that blade for a good minute, and I just kept staring at it and staring at it. And so after like a good 2 minutes of staring at it, I moved those boxes into the office. I left that blade sitting there. Um, Came back out and continued to stare at a blade. I just stared at it. I just stared at it, and something inside of me, and I felt a feeling inside of me, and I felt a feeling inside of me. That's just hey. I felt a feeling inside of me um, that I wanted to um, that I wanted to end my life, and so I got the rest of the boxes. So I got some more boxes, bought them back again, and I left that blade, and the blade was still sitting there, and I was still staring at it, still staring at it, and inside and inside my head, something was saying to me, um, well, if you wanna, if you wanna take this blade and end your life, now, now you have the way, now you have the thing to do it. Now you have the thing to do it. Um, So what I did was I picked up that blade. I just looked at it. I just continued to look at it. I just continued to look at it. And I actually put it at my wrist. I put that blade right at my wrist. I put it at my wrist. Scooted it back. Then I again put it at my wrist. I was about to move the blade back and forth on my wrist, as I was about to, I could feel myself beginning to. I could feel tears beginning to come aboard as I was beginning to move the blade back and forth. I felt tears beginning to come, and that's when I stopped. And that's when I stopped. And I stopped. The tears didn't. The tears that were beginning to come on subsided, and I was about to put the blade, a really small blade, but a sharp blade. I was debating whether to put the blade in my pocket or just throw it up into warehouse somewhere where I couldn't find it. I almost put the blade in my pocket. I was about to put that blade in my pocket, but I took it out, looked at the blade, and I just threw it up in the warehouse somewhere where I couldn't find it, because again, it was a small blade. But a sharp blade nonetheless. And I took that blade and I just threw it up somewhere where I wasn't gonna look for it. And that was the end of that. So yeah. I could have ended my life. At work, of all places. At work, of all places. Okay. And if I didn't, I was still debating whether to put the blade in my pocket or not. So if I had kept that blade in my pocket, I would have continued to think about ending ending my life. But I made the decision to take that blade and just throw it somewhere. I don't know where I threw it, because when I threw it, I didn't even look to where I threw it to. No, I just threw it somewhere. But yeah. I wasn't gonna talk about that, but it needed to be talked about. It needed to be talked about. Um, you know, um, I mentioned that I had, as I was about to move, as I was debating moving the blade back and forth on my wrist, I mentioned that tears were preparing to come out, and that's when I stopped. And you know, so Friday was a Friday was a little bit of a Friday was a dark day, to say the least, and to say the least. Personally, um, it ended on a good note though. It ended on a good note though. I was still alive, and I um, I was very very happy to be alive because um, um, me and my girlfriend actually went out and did hit something, and so um, while we were out having a good time, it's like what had happened hours, a few hours before, never even happened because while I was with her, that never even crossed my mind. What I did a few hours ago, it didn't even cross my mind. But um, it did though, you know. But for everybody out there, he'd be struggling. You know, there's always hope. There's always hope. You are important, and you do matter to someone. You do matter to someone. All right. I think I said everything that I've wanted to say. Um, Update on the documentary. I'm done with my part. I did all my parts. The talking, the talking about when I was a kid, to elementary school, to high school bullying, to problems I had with mental health as an adult. I talked about all that. That part is done. Now, the only part that is left is interviewing um, interviewing people that I have requested to be interviewed. So that still needs to be done, and that's going to get done soon. And also, before I shot this, before I bring you this video, I just launched my new podcast, um, which is called Tapping the Wall, and I will be giving some info about that podcast um, in the video description. Um, in the video description, I will leave some info about that in the video description. So documentaries coming out. Launched my brand new podcast, and I'm talking to y'all about mental health. God is great. All the time. All the time, God is great. Thank you. May God bless you all. Out of here, y'all. Peace.